thing is you don't have to get it all, as I've said before, so long as it's close, we're good. And up the hill, how are we doing? Check that, we're at 66%. Oh! We definitely had 2100 litres plus half a packet of grass seed. So this has actually depleted our grass seed quite significantly. But that said, that was 2100 litres. We've done, did I say 66? Yeah, we've done 2/3. So we may just about have enough grass seed to do this entire field and have almost nothing left. Edgar's Weekly, welcome to the stream. This is a single player stream. Single player farm. We'll lift and turn again here. Not going to worry too much about spinning around these two trees. They're so close to, you know, where we're planting. Actually, this next one might be as well. Oh no, we did the loop on this one, so do the loop again. Okay, where are we at? Around about here. And missed another bit that I'm not, again, too worried about that so much. That tree's floating. Thing with the floating trees, you can drive through them, or you can't drive a tractor through them, but you can certainly fit the cedar underneath them. Don't recall if there was a baling contract on this field last year. Well, the problem is because you're planting it. It's going to be a summer first cut. Might go up and do the top section. Just finish that off. And then we'll do that side of the castle, finish that bit off, and then anything that's left over we can go back to the section behind us. It shouldn't take too long. I'm probably not going to do the other grass contract because this has taken exactly, or near enough exactly 2100 litres. And I don't see the point in having, yeah, thousands of litres of grass seed that I'm never going to use on my own yard farm. we do have other seed. I think the spelt seed was I had bought it for a contract, but then I decided that this year I was going to plant spelt instead, yeah, as my cereal crop. So that's not such a big deal having some left over from that first year. And I think even so I still had to buy more in order to plant both my fields. Okay, one more pass on this section. And then off to the north side of the castle, I guess. This should put us up to 50,000 in cash, and as I said, we'll get to 50,000. We'll drop 25 on the debt, and then it will probably be night time. Said I think the sheep are okay for food. I also wonder if that's why food usage on that top field, the Oakfield farm sheep field, hasn't been touched, because technically there was no sheep in that field. When we hit the rest point, although it has done the math and figured out how much food 300 odd sheep should eat, so don't know how that's gonna pan out. I think I might do a loop on this. Try not to hit the tree. Not quite so many trees on this side. How are we doing? 300. 15%. This is getting very tight for seed usage versus contract completion. So the result is, if we cannot complete this contract with the seed we have, I've got no choice but to buy another pallet of seed, in which case we will do the other grass contract. But if I do get to the end of this contract and we have seed still in the tank, potentially a litre or two, then I am not going to buy more seed to do the other contract. Just not worth it. It's 4 o'clock. So it's still early spring, so it's going to get dark early anyway. So we don't want to be out too late, I guess. The other mod that came out the other week that I haven't looked at was the headland setup mod thing, which basically let you set up function on a headland. So you could push one button and it would turn off the seeder, raise the seeder, let you turn around, and then would lower the seeder back in and turn it back on again, all in one swift action, which is how real farmers tend to do it. They have their equipment programmed so that I press a button and it turns off everything that needs to be turned off, lifts everything that needs to be lifted, it lets you perform a 180-degree turn, and then push the other button and it puts everything back to where it was. Instead of just running around in circles, making pretty patterns in the soil. Okay. Here we go. 90%. Ugh, 127. This is very close. Why do all my contracts end up so close? That last fertilizer contract was just not enough. And again here, I don't know that 98 litres of grass seed is going to see us to the end of this field. No, we are not going to make this. What a pain. Man. But that's part of the problem with the realistic seeder mod, is that because you have to buy the seed type of the crop you want to plant, you're very rarely going to end up with exactly what you need, so you're always going to end up with a ton of seed that you can't use unless you decide to replant that crop the next year. And we have a whole shed of seed like that. 16. If this was a canola field, we'd have done it. Plus, I don't mind having a ton of canola seed lying around because, well, it's something we actually grow on our farm. So, if I drive on this bit, I should not be using any seed. I am not. Okay. That does confirm my claim last week that we only put down seed where there isn't any, even though this is a direct seeder, and thus does rip up the seed that's in the ground and replace it with what's in the tank if you're planting a different type of seed. So I could come back with canola seed and plant it in this field and it would replace what's in the field. But slight adjustment into the Giants engine for FS19 means that if you are planting the same seed that's already in the ground, it will not rip up what's already there. So there is a cost saving there. So I guess we're doing the other grass field contract after we've done this one. Pallets, grass seed. It's not that expensive, but it is big. Oh well. It is what it is. Fill up the cedar. And we didn't fill it. Nearly halfway anyway. Why am I flying? Okay. Seem to have some flying issues. And there we go. Ah, someone took the ladder away. So 34% of a tank. So we can, I mean, the nice thing about this seat, it's got good working width and good capacity. So if I was to plant some big fields, we've got capacity to do things like field 17 and 35, whatever it was we just did. Okay. Let's continue over this side. Try not to run over any pedestrians or knock their heads off with the cedar arms. And we're at 94%. So somewhere up the top here is where we got up to. There really isn't that much land here to do. Possibly 2 runs and we're done. Oh. And oh no, there's a little bit more over there. We'll come back, try not to hit the tree, and then we'll go and finish up that first patch. Okay. So again, we'll try not to run over any pedestrians as we cross the path. 5% left. Render distance on pedestrians is not that significant, I guess. I think I'm going to kill one. Or not. We'll just run around this patch until the contract's done and we get paid. Because that's always a good thing. You do a job, you get paid. Okay, and 96%. So yeah, so it doesn't matter that I'm driving over the bits that are already seeded, because we're not wasting seed on those sections. Farm Sim 17, you would be wasting seed every time you drive over a bit with the seeder running. Now if you're using a separate, so if you're using something like that and following it with that, you will be ripping up your seed and you will be wasting seed, because the harrow will cultivate and it's a separate action. The cultivate part of this device is embedded within the seeder, so you don't have to prepare the ground before you plant. And if you plant the wrong thing, you can change the seed in the tanks and drive over it and just eliminate the seed in the ground. But a separate harrow and seeder, the harrow does its function and then the seeder comes through and does its function. So you will always waste seed if you're overplanting. 99%. Keep an eye for the message. Keep an eye on the message. Hello, message. Done. And let's use the brakes, not the accelerator. There we go. And let's get paid. So, yay for that. We have field 24 needs grass. So, since we now have a ton of grass, figure out where 24 is. 24 is off the back of 27. I think you come up this road, there's a path through the field, and then you're at 24. Because I think I was... Oh, it's already germinated. I think I was looking at that field as a potential purchase for this year. Before I just decided, you know what, I'm just not doing grass anymore anywhere. Sheep eat clover, the clover fields themselves are, well, you can't store grass technically. And if I do ever need grass, I can cut the grass in some of those sheep pastures. And I have a loading wagon to collect that with. Let's jump in the cab and follow. Now the problem is this truck is going to go all the way around the roundabout and turn right. So hopefully we meet nobody coming the other way. Yay. And we get in front of it. And there's no policeman at the roundabout. Of course, that has me wondering, has Oxygen David seen people doing this and he's planning some speed camera equivalent for people going around the roundabout the wrong way in Farm Sim 22. Honestly, I haven't paid much attention to what he's announced. Obviously, Calmsden Farm is going to be his initial release, I believe, for Farm Sim 22. He did it for 19 and has let his testers mess with it. But that's the last I heard, and the plan was that it was going to release on 22. And so kind of like... what was the one we got... I can't remember the first Oxygen David map for Farm Sim 17 was or 19. Oh, that's bugging me now. But yeah, I played that briefly. But it was kind of a small map and not something I felt I could go all in on. You know, it was sort of, it had limitations, and I figured, yeah, what? There's other maps of his I prefer to play. Oh, we're here, and the truck's coming. And there we go, nice turn. But yeah, so Calmsden Farm will be his first. I don't know which other farms he may plan on re-releasing for 22. So obviously, I mean, there's a lot of his farms he has done were released on 17 and were re-released on 19. And I think he also did a bullet bill farm for 19. But we had Lone Oak, we've had Oakfield, we've had the supposed Irish one. Sandy Bay, and there was another one like that as well. Oh, and Chellington, of course. Major overhaul. But when he does these maps, I think this one received probably the least enhancements over the FS19 version. But I mean, it's still a good map. I'm not complaining about that, but I'm just... Yeah, so it's, when you look at things like Sandy Bay or Chellington, got heavily reworked. This one, not so much, but that's not a big issue. Where are we going? 24. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the field in front of me, thinking there's stuff growing in there. No, this is the field